My name is Hannah Toomey. I'm a student at East Central Community College. I'm doing a persuasive essay. And this is my audience. This is my sister on the webcam because she could not make it. My other sister, Abigail, my mom, my dad, and my little brother. Okay. Please excuse me because I have bronchitis, and I'm going to try to make through this speech with so that everyone can hear me and comprehend what I'm saying, so bear with me. I believe that contraceptives, such as birth control, would benefit the world in such a positive way, and I believe they're such a wonderful thing. And I know that a lot of people are sitting out there thinking, this girl is crazy, what is she talking about? I think the world would be a much better and happier place if the government would fund and support and pay for birth control so that whoever needs it or wants it, which I believe that everyone should be on, every girl should be on it, can have it for free and they would not have to worry about it. I strongly believe that the government should pay for contraceptives such as birth control, and I believe this because it would ultimately save the government money. There would be less abortions, there would be less child abuse, there would be less divorce, and the world, I believe, would be a more successful world. Excuse me. If the government would support and pay for birth control, they would not have to fund orphanages. This would in turn save them money because the girls would be on birth control, which is 99.9% effective. There would not be any need for orphanages because everyone would want their child because they had planned this child. This is the child they wanted. They had it at the time that they wanted it and the time that they needed it, and that they were ready for a child, so they did not have to give it up for adoption. The only reason that they would need some sort of orphanage or foster home is if the birth control fails, which is highly unlikely. It happens in some incidences, but it's not it doesn't happen occasionally. Also, if parents die and there's no one to look after the kids, they will need foster homes or orphanages. And I know a lot of people are out there thinking, what about the people that can't have babies that, want babies and they would need to adopt? There will be that chance of the birth control failing or, excuse me, or people that die and there's no one to look after their kids. Those kids will need adoption, and most people are not eligible to adopt, and those are the people that will love the kids the most and that will show the kids that much affection. So there will not be but a few amount of people that actually can adopt anyways. So there will be less kids, which means there will be less kids that are going from foster home to foster home and living in orphanages till they're 18 years old. And I personally do not want to think about a kid living in an orphanage or from foster home to foster home until they're 18 years old without someone showing them love and kindness and not someone hugging them and supporting them throughout their lives. Also, there will be surrogate mothers who would be glad to give their services to people and carry their child so that they can give the gift of life to another couple. Also, I believe the government can save money with the free clinics around town that are giving out free abortions and free ways to get rid of your baby, which I don't understand why anyone could do that. These free clinics would not have to be supported anymore because everyone that's having babies would want their babies because they were on birth control, which means they can get off whenever they are ready, whenever the time is right for them, which means there would be virtually no abortions, which means the government would save money without funding orphanages or without funding these free clinics. Which leads me to my next point. Excuse me. That abortion would virtually be eliminated because these people can pick when they want their child, can pick when they're ready for their child, that everyone would want their child, which means there would be no need for abortion. No one would need abortion. Once again, mothers could decide. They can make this decision. There wouldn't be that child that, what am I going to do? No one would have to make the decision of, I need to have an abortion. I'm not ready for a child. so no one would have to live through the rest of their life knowing that they aborted their child, that no one would have to know that they killed their baby. This is especially close to my heart. I've just lost a child in June. I had a miscarriage, so I do not see how anyone, or I don't see how anyone can agree with abortion or have an abortion. And this is such a big topic, and there's so many arguments about it that, I mean, the world would be such a peaceful place because no one would be arguing about it because there would be no need and no one would need an abortion. And I've personally lost a friend over this exact subject because we disagreed. And there would be no fighting over it because there would be virtually no, it would be eliminated because everyone could have the choice of when they wanted to have their child. And no one would have to live the rest of their life knowing that they killed their child. Also, I want everyone to think about the kids who have, the parents who have the kids that are childs, that they don't go from foster home, that they actually keep their child, but their child was never actually wanted, which means they go home with parents who did not want them, and they're more likely to get abused than planned pregnancies because their parents just weren't ready and they didn't want them, and so they're more likely to get abused. And if parents could choose when they had their baby, if the government would fund free birth control, then there would be less child abuse because every parent would want their child and no parent would ever hit their child if they wanted their child. Or about the parents who just don't care when they're pregnant, that are just not meant to be moms, that they are more into their drugs and alcohol than they are their baby. And when they're pregnant, they abuse drugs and they abuse alcohol. And their baby initially suffers for it because when they come out, they're addicted to drugs and they have to go through withdrawals. And I don't know if anyone out there has ever seen a baby go through withdrawals, but it is the most awful thing that anyone has ever seen. And the baby suffers so much, and I would never put a baby through such suffer. I don't see how anyone could ever do that. I don't know if anyone out there agrees with me, but that is a horrible sight that no baby should ever have to suffer through. Also, when young couples accidentally get pregnant and have their child, they a lot of the time they get married because they believe it's the right thing to do. They have good intentions. Also, they want their baby to have a stable home, so they stay together, but they weren't ready to get married. They don't love each other. They got married because of their child. So, I mean, they're fighting. They don't love each other. They're just staying for their child. So initially, they will probably get a divorce, which means the child has to go through seeing their family split up. My parents have been divorced. I would never want a child to have to go through any of that because it's their family is breaking up, and I would never ever put a baby through that. So you should never get married because you have a baby, and you would never have that baby if you would have free birth control. So which leads me to my next point: there would be less divorce, and the kids that go through high school and get married, they drop out of high school, which means that they could have went to school, they could have finished school, they could have got their degrees, but they needed to support their babies. They needed to go to work right then. So they can't support their babies. So they drop out, which means they won't fully get their degree, and they won't be successful. I mean, I'm not saying that everyone won't be successful, but without a degree, most people are not going to be successful. These could be future business owners and future doctors and future lawyers, but we'll never know because they didn't get their degrees. Which brings me to my next point. With these future business owners, would help the economy. And with more businesses, it helps the economy, which helps you. So this affects everyone. This doesn't just affect people who are having babies. The world would be a more successful place because there would be more successful people. It would make a stronger economy because there would be more business. There would be more places to spend your money, more places to get your money, more places to make money. So in conclusion, as you can see, free contraceptive from the government does not only affect the government or abortion or divorce or child abuse or the world in general, but it affects you, it affects me, and it affects everybody. If birth control was free and paid for by the government, it could affect the economy, the world, everything in a positive way, and I believe that everyone could benefit from it. So thank you, and sorry about my voice, and I really hope that everyone could comprehend what I was saying. So thanks.